Hey, what's going on, comic fans? It's Mr. Q Comics back with another comic haul video. Just want to give a quick reminder before we get started to please like the video and subscribe down below. I hope all of you are staying safe and healthy out there and practicing some social distancing. I know we certainly are here. Been hunkered down at the house. We finally sprung for Disney Plus and started watching The Mandalorian last night, which is fantastic. I really enjoy it. So looking forward to the other content they're going to be coming out with as soon as production gets up and running. Hopefully, things aren't postponed for too long and the world gets back in order sooner rather than later. So, on that note, a big shout out to everyone in the medical field, all of you doctors, nurses, EMT, any personnel dealing with this pandemic on the front lines. Certainly appreciate all your efforts, all your hard work out there. So please stay safe, stay healthy. So let's dive into some books here. Let's try and have a little bit of fun amidst this crazy time we're all putting up with. So yeah, I've got a little bit of an old haul here, probably a few months old. Two different shops, a couple different visits. One of my local shops has a back issue sale every so often. I've mentioned it before, so they discount all their books, and you get some books for $1, some for $3, and then like 25 or 30% off. Books over $30. So I've got a good stack of $3 and $1 books, so we will start off with those. Little Avengers Silver Age, number 34, first appearance of the Living Laser from 1966. It's a Stan Lee story, and Don Heck on the cover and art. So this was $3. It's really beat up. I just thought it was a really low grade. Then I got home and realized it's incomplete. I can't remember if it's actually missing a story page or an ad page. Either way, it's incomplete. I probably would have left it there had I bothered to check, but usually I don't open up the comics in the shop unless it's like a bigger book. So what are you going to do? Not a big deal. It's only a few bucks. So I didn't have it for the run, so we'll call it a run filler, a placeholder, whatever you want to call it. Some more Avengers, a little more modern stuff here. Some late Bronze Age. Avengers 222. This is in really good shape. The next few I got are all in pretty good shape here. This is the new Masters of Evil roster. It's Jim Shooter's story and Greg LaRocque cover and art. These next few were all for $1, so I got 236 as well. I love Spider-Man's my favorite character, so anything that's a Spidey-related crossover, Spidey on the cover of other series, I will usually pick up. This one is Spider-Man's denied membership to the Avengers, Roger Stern story, Al Milgrom cover and art. This one I have probably a few copies. It's $2.39. It's got a David Letterman and what's his name? Paul Schaefer appearance from 1984. Same deal. It was $1, near mint condition, and same creative team on that. And the final Avengers book, $2.60 from, what is this from? 85. I think this is the first cover appearance of Nebula. Kind of tough to make her out, but she's kind of in the foreground there, like the silhouette, not really silhouette, I don't know what you call that, of her face over the Avengers team in space there. This is, again, Roger Stern on the story, but it's a John Byrne cover, and John Buscema and Tom Palmer art. So that's it for the Avengers books. I grabbed Giant Size Master of Kung Fu number 3. This one was $3. It's probably mid-grade from 1975. It's the first appearance of Shadow Stalker, who is one of Fu Manchu's assassins. Pretty cool Gil Kane cover, and this is Doug Mensch on the story and Paul Gillislee art. I can't remember if there was speculation on this book. It might have been number 2. I know there's been speculation on a few of these assassin first appearances from the Master of Kung Fu title, and I just can't remember which ones are talking about actually appearing in the movie. So, all right, we got G.I. Joe number 56. I don't actually have a ton of G.I. Joe. I have number 1. I've got the silent issue. This was just in really good shape, and it was $1. It's a Mike Zeck cover. Nothing really important with it. Otherwise, just high grade and Mike Zeck. So I grabbed it. Now these, for anyone who's seen any of my other videos, you've probably seen me talk about these books. You guys are probably sick of them, but I am totally addicted to buying these Marvel Tales Todd McFarlane covers. This is $2.23, which is pretty positive it is his first issue on the series, and it's going to be probably my favorite cover of all of his. I love the Doc Ock arms just coming in from outside of the frame. It's just fantastic. So I got a bunch of these that were all in really high grade. They had a stack of them, and I didn't want to pay the $5 or whatever they were, $6. I knew just hold out. They're going to have a back issue sale soon, and they were still there. So I got 223, which was, all of these are probably VF near mint or near mint. So they were all upgrades to my existing collection. I got 224, which I think I recently showed off probably a few hauls ago, maybe more than that. But mine was beat up from a dollar bin. It was pretty dirty because it's a white cover. So this is a nice upgrade. 226, which I think was one I was missing. Whatever reason, this one's always eluded me. I've never found it, but again, love this cover. And 227, another great cover. I just love the over-embellished poses from Spider-Man, the spaghetti webs, whatever you want to call it. I know some people aren't a big fan, totally unrealistic with the anatomy. His anatomy can be a little funky, the proportions can look a little bit off, but I really just love the dynamic, super exciting art style. For me as a kid, seeing the transition from whoever was doing the artwork, I can't recall, on 297 till McFarlane took over, it was just such an amazing thing to see as a kid. This such a changeover. So that just always stuck with me, and I've always just loved the giant Spider-Man eyes, these dynamic poses. I can't get enough of it. So I didn't show off all of them because the other ones I got, I'm sure I've shown before. So these are the ones I don't think I've picked up at least too many times. So all right, enough of the Marvel tales. Get a few other cheap books here. So this was, I got this for $3, Punisher War Journal, #1. Really good shape. This is near mint condition from 1988. Origin of the Punisher. It's Carl Potts on the story and cover, and Carl Potts and I think some Jim Lee artwork on the interiors. Now this I'd seen floating around. It's been in their shop for a while, but I think they had it like $10 or $8, and I just didn't want to pay it because it's low grade. It is beat up. But with the sale, it was like $3, so I picked it up. Spider-Woman #1 from 1978. It's the origin of Spider-Woman. I think it's a new costume as well. Joe Sinnott cover, Marv Wolfman story, and Carmine Infantino on the art. So for $3, I was not going to leave that behind. Same with this, Thor 344. I think this is the first time I picked it up. I've gotten it a few times since this haul, but I think this is the first one I grabbed. I always see this for like $20 on people's walls, maybe more than that, and I just never wanted to pay it. It's the first appearance of Malekith from 1984. Walt Simonson story, cover, and art. It's a mid-grade copy, so for a few bucks, I didn't have it. I went ahead and grabbed it, and I thought that was worth it for a few bucks. Another minor key, West Coast Avengers #46. This is the first appearance of the Great Lake first team appearance of the Great Lakes Avengers from 1989. John Byrne on the story, cover, and art. Probably VF condition. Yeah, it's got some spine ticks there, quite a few. A little bit of corner rounding, but it was $1, so I snagged it. I think I've got another copy as well. They had some of their What Ifs pretty cheap, so I picked up some of the earlier ones from the first volume. This is #34 from 82. Bob Layton cover. And this is a cool John Byrne cover on #36. I like the kind of, the Fantastic Four 1, cover take. What if the Fantastic Four had not gained their superpowers? So these are each $1, probably VF range. So pretty cool pickups. And final one from that shop in their back issue sale. And this, I think, is a fantastic book to grab. Wolverine #88. And still find it pretty cheap out there. It's the first battle between Wolverine and Deadpool. I think that's a great spec book. I mean, everyone's obviously anticipating X-Men and Wolverine showing up in the MCU. And how are you not going to have, with Deadpool being Marvel property again, or however you want to say it, how are you not going to have them cross paths and have some sort of, fantastic meetup? I'm sure it's going to be phenomenal. So definitely a great book to grab. Cool Adam Kubert cover as well. All right, on to the next shop. We'll start with, and I think I've mentioned it before, the shop has been putting out grab bags. They're $10, and you get like 7 books. They say it's 7 books, but sometimes they'll stuff 10 or 11 in there. What they do is it's 100 grab bags, and there's a big major prize. Usually it's a slab, and they'll stick a sheet of paper in the winning bag, and you're going to go back and pick it up. But then they'll mix in you know, some other key issues that can be like $20, $40, $50 books, something like that. So the grab bags are just phenomenal, even if you don't get one of the quote unquote winners. So I just get hooked on them. I'll grab like 10, 20 of them out of a batch. They just put so much good Bronze Age stuff in there that I cannot stop buying them. So definitely a fantastic way to fill in. It's mostly Marvel stuff. They don't get a ton of DC. They get it, but it's just Marvel, Marvel, Marvel for the most part, which I love. So first one, and I am not covering everything here because I got a lot of stuff. There's a lot of Copper Age stuff, New Mutants runs, X Factors runs, but we've got the Eternals, the last handful of issues anyway, 17, 18, and 19. Nothing special. They're not the best of shape, probably very good, maybe fine, something like that. Oh, I actually missed one. I actually had 16 in there as well. This is probably the worst shape. So, you know, works out to $1.50. I'm not going to complain. Jack Kirby on, you know, story cover and art, obviously. So I think I was only missing 16. I think I had all the other ones. I'm probably still missing just a couple of issues for that run. Also had these in there, which I thought were pretty cool. I never really chased this series, but I do really enjoy the art, actually, at least on the covers. I haven't read them yet. Howard the Duck, number 4. And I don't know why, I really like this cover, number 5. So this is, who is on the art? It's Gene Colan on the cover and art, Steve Gerber on the stories. So those are in pretty good shape. They were both like VF range. So pretty happy with those. I've got a handful of the Howard the Duck books, but not a ton of them. All right, next run. This must have been one bag here. A good run of Spider-Woman. Got number 6, and I can't remember if any of these are key books. Most of them are mid-grade. They're hovering in the fine to very fine from 78. I think for the most part, it's Marv Wolfman on the story, Carmine Infantino on cover and arts. I think there's a few other ones, you know, where other creators are mixed in. Maybe the writer changed up. So that's number 6. Number 7. Number 8. Did not have number 9. Maybe that's some sort of key. I can't remember. They usually will pick out, you know, keys in the run when they stuff these grab bags, if it's a big enough key. But number 10, 11, 12, 13. I think that may be the first appearance of the Shroud. I don't know. I never really read the Spider-Woman run. So 14 and 15. So, like I said, pretty good way to fill in a nice Bronze Age run. You suddenly have, you know, 10 books in a run, which is fantastic, obviously. I kind of prefer it over just mixing up random books. I definitely prefer the straight runs like that. And they'll usually have, you know, if they've got a bunch of Hulk books, they'll stuff like 20 grab bags will be full of the Hulk. So there's been grab bags, will probably show up in later hauls where I've pieced together, you know, a 30, 40 book run of, you know, some Bronze Age title from Marvel. So this one was really good. An X-Men lot here. So these must have been one of the first grab bags they did, but 109, which I think I had it already. It's mid-grade, very good to find. It's the first Weapon Alpha, who later becomes the Vindicator, and it's the first time Wolverine's referred to as Weapon X. And I think, I didn't write it down, I think that's John Byrne. Not sure. I can't remember. This one looks like it's Dave Cockrum, 110. This one's Cockrum as well, 111. And I think, for the most part, I think this was a section, a run of the Uncanny title that I didn't actually have, so that was pretty good. I might have 1 or 2 of them, but this one's Byrne. Awesome cover. I love Wolverine there. 112. And another fantastic Byrne cover. The colors on this are amazing. 113. So for $10, yeah, I think we'd all take that all day long. So, and again, they're all mid-grade, but still, you know, fine. I'm happy with that. Okay, so that was it for at least what I'm going to highlight out of the grab bags. There were just too many to go through. So, you know, I grabbed some single issues while I was there too, and I think these came from a couple of different trips to that store. I usually go in weekly, at least when I could go in when things were open. So this, again, I seem to do a lot of this, but just straight nostalgia buys from my childhood. Married with Children. #1. I feel like this is the second volume. I didn't really know. I just saw it on their wall. Yeah, I probably overpaid. It was $9 I think I got it for with my discount, but it's near mint, and I love the show. If you're a child of the 80s, early 90s, who didn't love Al Bundy? Totally politically incorrect show. Probably get, thrown off the air nowadays, but absolutely loved the show as a kid. So I just had to grab it. All right, we got Amazing Spider-Man 116, just a book I was missing. This is mid-grade, fine, very fine. They had some low-grade Batman books, which I always love picking up when they price them right. So when they're under $10, and they'll put them out there a lot, I'll grab these to fill in the run. These are probably good, very good. Batman 132. It's got the UK stamp there. 10-cent cover. Detective 278. So again, they're low grade, but when you're paying under $10, I will absolutely do that to fill in my my Batman run here, which is pretty much I would say the only DC hero that I actually like to add to the PC, particularly the Bronze Age Batman stuff with the Neil Adams artwork is phenomenal. So, all right, on with some more low grade, back to Marvel. We've got Journey into Mystery, number 118, which is the first appearance of the Destroyer. Again, good, very good, and this was like $14. This, I thought, was a phenomenal buy. X-Men 53, gorgeous cover. Absolutely love the colors here. I believe this is the first Barry Windsor Smith cover art. I don't know if that's just on the X-Men title or in comics. I can't recall. But I marked this down as VG, but man, it must have a subcrease somewhere that I'm not seeing through the Mylar or on the back, because it looks a little bit better than that. And this was less than $10. So I was happy to snag this. Most of my shops, if I walk in there, Silver Age X-Men books are usually $20 a pop, if in just mid-grade, very good range. So to grab them for under $10 is definitely a win for me. All right, one more DC book, and I love this. It's this kind of quirky stuff with DC books from that time frame. I absolutely love. This is Detective Comics, number 371. Just a hysterical, awesome Carmine Infantino cover. Batman's getting his butt kicked, calling out for Batgirl, but she's distracted because she's got to run in her tights. So I think this is hysterical. I love stuff like this from DC. I swear I saw this marked as the quote-unquote sexism cover on Key Collector Comics. It's not listed like that anymore. It's just listed as the debut of the TV design Batmobile. But I had recognized this. I had seen it a couple times, and it's one of those things I just had to have. So it's mid-grade. It was like less than $30 again. So probably fine range. But I was super happy to grab that. Okay. Handful more of some good Silver Age and some Bronze Age stuff as well. But this is a nice minor key. Giant size Spider-Man, number 4. I think it's the third appearance of the Punisher. I'm sure I've shown this before. I've got a few copies. This one's in really nice shape, probably very fine. Beautiful yellow background again. Obviously, ASM 129, super expensive book. So always great to grab second, third appearances of some of these major characters. I mean, I don't see characters like the Punisher really going down much in price. I'm sure a lot of these big books are going to take a dip with what's happening with the economy. But to me, characters like this is where, if you're buying to hold things long term, I think characters like this are worth putting your money into over kind of the modern stuff. That's my opinion, of course. And again, a third appearance of a character you love. Punisher is one of my favorite characters. Absolutely love them as a kid. And this is a very affordable key issue. So this was, again, less than $30 for a very fine copy. I was absolutely stoked to grab that. And sticking with that theme, another second appearance, Silver Age appearance, Tales of Suspense, number 60. And for me, Hawkeye just wasn't one of my favorite characters, so I'm probably not going to shell out a ton of money to get his first appearance. I'd, of course, love to have all the first appearances of Marvel characters. But if it's not, one of my favorite characters, I'm going to wait until I can find it at a great price. So the second appearance, I'm happy to grab a mid-grade copy. This is probably very good find. Again, less than $30. Absolutely. Another cool Tales of Suspense. This one is just, to me, a great cover. Tales of Suspense 98. Again, really nice shape. I love the yellows here. Probably very fine. I believe this is the first battle of Captain America and Black Panther. And I did not write my notes down with the artist on this. I am not sure who that is. But really good copy. And same thing, under 30 bucks. And for that copy, that it's got to be very fine range. So, all right, down to the bigger books here. Last 4 books. We have got Incredible Hulk, yet again, another early appearance of a major character. Hulk 181 is definitely on my to-buy list. And I have been trying to do less buying and more purging of my collection to put some funds aside. But Hulk 182, which is maybe the 3rd appearance, I can't remember. Definitely, obviously, early Wolverine, but I just can't remember timing of the books and what technically was his 2nd appearance. I guess Giant Size X-Men is a 2nd. I don't know if this is his 3rd. I'm assuming it is, but not in the best of shape. It's my 2nd copy. I grabbed a really nice copy when I first got back into collecting in like 2015, 2016 for like 10 bucks. My local shop had it. This was a little bit more. This was under 40, but it's made great again. Very good find. You can see it's got a piece missing. It's got some tears, but affordable copy of an early Wolverine appearance. Again, I don't see people's love for Wolverine going away, so definitely happy to grab another copy. Another book that I do have already, but I couldn't turn down a 2nd copy that was affordable. Yet it's a lower grade than the one I have, but Amazing Spider-Man number 25. Probably good, very good range. This was 45 bucks. From June of 65. It's the first Spencer Smythe and Spider Slayers and the first Mary Jane cameo. And of course, it's Steve Ditko covering art and Stan Lee on the script. So happy to get a 2nd copy of that. And down to the last 2. This book is a book that went absolutely crazy after Comic-Con. I told myself I was not going to hunt this book down, not going to pay big money for this book, not going to get swept up in the hype, because this, to me, is one of those books that is just going to go insane because of the movies, and after the movies is going to drop off. But I walked into the shop, they had it. I thought it was pretty affordable, relatively speaking, compared to what it was going for at the time. I don't know what it's going for now. I think I'm probably still at least at the break-even point. But I did get a copy, which I don't intend to hold on to, but it's What If number 10. What if, I guess the first Jane Foster as Thor. The price they had it at, I don't know. I think they thought it was a lot lower grade or whatever. They saw something I didn't. I think it's in the VF range. I think it looks really sharp. This was, I think it was 50. Yeah, 50 bucks I got it for. So I do absolutely intend to unload this when it gets closer to the movie. I think it did the typical, the news comes out, everyone's head explodes, the prices go through the roof, the number of sales goes through the roof. Then there's that cool down period. And then when more news starts leaking out and trailers start dropping, then the book's spiking in. So I will probably unload it at that point, and hopefully I make a little bit off of it. It's definitely a cool cover. I didn't mark down who did it. I like the artwork. It's a cool book from 78, but to me, it's not a book that's going to retain its value. To me, my opinion, of course. So, okay, final book would be the opposite for me. This is the type of book I would buy and spend money for and hold on to, because I think characters like this are characters that people are going to love and remember. It is Fantastic Four, Annual number 2. It's in rough shape. This book is pricey, in good shape, but it was on the wall at my shop, and it was affordable. I love the logo with the red, green, and blue altering letters. It's the origin of Doctor Doom from, where did I put the notes here? What year is this from? 1964, Stanley story, Kirby cover and art. It's probably very good range. Maybe it's a little lower than that. It's a lot of creasing. It could definitely withstand a press. I'll probably at some point get it slabbed. Not a book I'm intending to unload. But this was less than $100, $70, $72, I think I paid. And I get the 10% credit at the store. So definitely a book worth grabbing. I can't swing the first Doctor Doom. Definitely a book I'd love to have. But yeah, yeah, great Doctor Doom book to pick up if you can find one. I'm sure this thing will go up at some point. So definitely happy to have it. So that is the haul, guys. I've got another Dollman haul on deck. That's, geez, probably around the same time frame. But it's pretty much all dollar books, a couple of wall books. I'll be working on that one next. So I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, again, please like and subscribe down below. Hope you guys all stay safe and healthy. I would wish you all happy hunting, but I guess happy buying on eBay. I'm assuming everyone else's shops are closed. So, again, stay safe and healthy, guys, and I will see you guys soon.